Hello everyone and welcome to this video today. Now I wasn't actually planning to make this video, but I just saw Rockboy680's video on his Tier for Fizz collection. It was an entry into Adam 80's Heaven 480 subscribers contest. So I thought, yeah, why not, let's enter this contest and support Adam's channel, support his contest. And so basically the contest was to show your collection of a band that you admire from the 80s preferably. Now I'm going to talk about in this video the Smiths, a band who I've got into quite recently, I have to say. My uncle was a massive fan of theirs. I've got all of his albums, what he gave me of theirs, plus a couple of other ones what I bought myself as well. So in this video I'll just sort of show my collection, talk a little bit about the albums and that. Probably won't go into too much detail I could try and do more in-depth reviews of each of these albums when I get round to it. But yeah, this will just be a quick overview of what I have. I'm complete. I've got all the studio albums and 2 compilations and a 12-inch and 3 12-inch singles as well to show. So the first album here is a 1984 debut here, just called The Smiths. Got this one recently, so it is an album what I am new to, but it is a really good album though. I mean, we have Reel Round the Fountain, which is a fantastic song. Pretty Girls Make Graves, love that one. Still Ill, Hand in Glove, What Difference Does It Make? There's a lot of great songs. I Don't Owe Anything to You as well was fantastic. So a good debut album. It isn't one of their favourites, so they often deride this album as it's they think it's got quite sloppy production on it. Personally, I don't find anything wrong with the sound of this album. I think it's just a solid debut album, and one of one of the very best debut albums. It was in my top 5 debut albums of all time. So yeah, definitely a really fine album there. Next one up, also in 1984, we had the album Hatful of Hollow here. This is an interesting album. When I first saw it, I thought it was a studio album, and when I saw it on the track listed, I was like, bloody hell, that is a pretty good track list for a studio album. But unfortunately, it isn't. It is a collection of live BBC recordings, and then also some other singles and whatnot. So we do get some ones in there William, It Was Really Nothing, What Difference Does It Make, This Charming Man, sort of the BBC session versions. And then there are a couple of songs unique to this album. Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now, Please Let Me Get What I Want. And it also has How Soon Is Now on this album as well. So there are a lot of great songs there. I think I'll just quickly show this one here, because I don't think it's one what I will review, because it isn't a studio album as per se. It is mostly just a compilation. But there's a gatefold to it, and the inner sleeve is just rather plain blue lyrics insert, and then the label to it there. And now the second studio album was this one here, Meat is Murder. And this was released in 1985. And going into this album, I didn't know any of the songs except for that Joke Isn't Funny Anymore, which at the time was one of my least favourite Smiths singles. However, the album, it has grown on me. There are some great songs there. The Headmaster's Ritual is on here, and Nowhere Fast is fantastic. Barbarism Begins at Home. There's a lot of great songs there. Maybe for me, it's my least favourite of their studio albums, but it is still a very good album. They're very consistent with their albums. I don't think I'll show this one. It's just a plain inner sleeve, just lyrics on it, and the label's pretty plain as well. It's not a gatefold album, but yeah, a decent second album, and quite a successful one. It was their only #1 UK album. First 12-inch. Now I'm not sure if this one came out after or before or after Meat is Murder, but it is the 12-inch to How Soon Is Now. Classic 80s song, fantastic track, and 85. This wasn't that big on the charts, but a lot of fans actually bought the single from the Hatful of Hollow album released the year before, so there wasn't really that much demand for this in many ways, because a lot of people had already heard it. But it's a fantastic song, sounds great on 12-inch. I sometimes like to play the 12-inch singles if I'm in that sort of mood for them. but then like I'll play about like 10 in like one night, like just if like I'm really like into like the 12-inch singles, like, because I do get like some like great B-sides. B-sides on this one are Well I Wonder, which I believe is on Meter's Murder. I might be wrong there, is it? I think, yeah, it is, yeah. Well I Wonder is a track from Meter's Murder, and then Oscillate Wildly is the other unique B-side on this single. And now we have possibly, well for me definitely their best album, The Queen Is Dead. Recently reviewed this, gave it about 87%. I think this got a cracking score, and it is just an amazing album. First side is like very, very good, but the second side is just amazing. I mean, we start off with like Big Bad Strikes Again, The Boy with a Thorn in His Side, Vicar in a Tutu, There Is a Lie, and then Some Girls Are Bigger Than Others to close out the album. Again, I'll just quickly show like this album off again. It is like a nice packaging to this one. We do have a gatefold here with a very iconic picture there outside Salford Lads Club there, lyrics, and then the inner sleeve looks just like that there. So yeah, an absolutely fantastic album there. Could well be my favourite album like from the 80s. That's certainly what like I'm like leaning towards like with this album. It's just a true classic. Next one up here is another 12-inch single. We have the song Panic here on a 12-inch. There's Panic. This has Vicar in a Tutu from The Queen Is Dead on the B-side, and the Drazy Train. I probably made like a right fool of myself there. The Drazy Train, not too sure, but like yeah, a great song, Panic. Great single. Like they've released like a lot of like unique singles and that, like stuff like what was never like on like the albums, which was quite a unique thing for like 80s artists to do. Like I mean, like that was something what like in like the 60s, a lot of people done like the Who and like the Beatles and that. They tended to do like these non-album singles. Later, like the Jam would do like a lot of that in like the late 70s, and like the Smiths would sort of like carry that tradition on like into like the 80s, which I thought was like pretty cool. Then we have a compilation album here called The World Won't Listen, and this is basically just like the singles and like back and like some B-sides as well from like the various singles and 12 inches like what they had out. So this does have like a pretty good track listing. Lots of like great songs in it. I mean, like you've got like most of like the hits like up to this point, plus like some great pieces like Asleep is on here, Rubber Ring, and what other ones are on here? Half a Person, I believe that was a single song. Yeah, so there's some very good stuff on it. Not a gatefold this one though, and there's the inner sleeve. I believe these have all been reissued at these albums, and like I believe this one was actually put on like a double vinyl, which is probably like for the better because there's 8 songs on each side here, so it doesn't sound the best, I have to say, because they are crammed in the tracks on here. But like I certainly know like the recent reissues have been double albums of this. So now we are on to their last studio album, and I really rate this album. Like I think that it is their second best album, like only second to like The Queen Is Dead. It is Strangeways, Here We Come. By this point the band had like split up. They had like quite a famous band split in like '87. This came out in September of that year, and it was actually like a really good album. Like they had quite like an experimental album, quite different from like the usual style. But certainly like going into this, like they have like you've got like some hit singles like on here, be like Girlfriend in a Coma is on here. Stop Me If You Think That You've Heard This One Before. Last Night I Dreamt That Somebody Loved Me. So there are some great songs there, but then there is great singles on there. Like I mean, but then there are some other great like album cuts as well. So again, I'll just quickly show this vinyl lineup. Yeah, like a really strong final album. Would have been interesting to see where they could have gone after this album, but unfortunately, like it wasn't to be. This would be the last album. They've never worked together since this. Sort of like what's happened since this is Morrissey's had like a solo career. I don't have like any of his studio albums yet. Not too bothered about like getting any though. Like I don't. I've heard like a couple of like a solo songs. I don't rate them too highly. Before I could go like any further though, I have got one more 12-inch here. This is the 12-inch 2 Girlfriend in a Coma, and this has songs Work is a 4-letter word, and I Keep Mine Hidden on the B-side, which I believe were the Smiths' 2 last songs that they ever worked on. So this is quite like a good single to have like just to get like those 2 songs in it. But anyway, like as I was saying, since like the Smiths broke up, Morrissey's had like a solo career, but Johnny Marr, who I probably prefer like out of like the two, has been in like various different bands and that, like electronic, like he teamed up with like a couple of guys from like New Order, like in like that group. He's worked with like groups like The, Modest Mouse, and like various like other bands. And like I have got one of his solo albums here. This is Playland from 2014. Like he's only like actually put out 2 solo albums. One called The Messenger, which was 2013, which I'm hoping to get like this month. And then also Playland here from 2014, which is a fantastic album, really solid throughout. So yeah, I really rate this album like quite a lot. Right, so as we come to the end of like this quick look through like the Smiths albums, like what I have, and like the one solo album like for Adam's contest, like what he's got going. Again, congratulations on the 480 subscribers. If like you're not already subscribed to his channel, please go ahead and do that. Also, if like you'd like to see like any of these albums reviewed and like whatnot, again like leave them like in the comments, and I will see you for the next video. Goodbye.